another faceless unboxing, at least for the first boxes in this video. FairyLoot has arrived. I also started getting Owlcrate. Owlcrate arrived yesterday and isn't really a big thing to unbox because I only have the book. So I'll just show you that one first before we go and open up what is inside this extremely large box. So the Owlcrate, however, is actually a book that I really wanted to read and I missed out on downloading my ARC in time because I am bad with time management. But it is The Swan's Daughter by Roshani Chokshi, a possibly doomed love story. I do really like this cover. I don't know if I like it quite as much as the original, which is this, but I do like it better than what is the, I think it's FairyLoot that were doing it. I like it better than them, that's for sure. And this actually came cellophane wrapped as well, which was really surprising. I've never seen them actually bother to cellophane a book, so that was nice that they were taking a bit more care of it. So yeah, it's got nice foiling going on. Our main character with a swan reflection. We've got sprayed edges and a ribbon bookmark, which is really nice. So yeah, this isn't foiling, even though it looks a little bit like it. It's just kind of patterned with the feathers. And then the side, and then carrying on to the back where it says use your wits, find a way to live, and above all, guard your heart. So this does have a reverse dust jacket, I believe, but we've also got artwork, which I always love. So really pretty. I know that the author, I believe, is Indian, and I'm kind of worried that they've whitewashed the characters in the artwork because they're clearly white. Gorgeous artwork though. I do really like the artwork. I believe her other books are like a bit more diverse, but yeah, just surprised that this one is like very white characters essentially, but it's obviously the take on Swan Lake. So let's have a look under the dust jacket because we've got a reverse going on. Very cute. It's all pink. We've got the swans. So it's like totally swan, basically, on the underside, but that is very cute. I like it. There's no foiling or anything, so I do think that this is the nicer dust jacket and the one I will display it with, but it's definitely a different vibe, and I do like that. So let's have a look at the actual book itself, because I think this is gorgeous under the dust jacket. This is hard to tell in this lighting. This is actually purple foiling on like a very, I do think this is a dark purple. It looks blue on my camera, but it actually does look dark purple in real life, and that looks kind of silvery, but that is actually a really nice sort of, you can kind of see it a little better when I get up close, but again, the colour is a little bit washed out on the camera, but it's a really nice like pinky purple shade, and then that carries on to the back. So yeah, that is The Swan's Daughter. Very excited to read that one. The FairyLoot box now is the exciting one. You may be wondering why it's as freaking massive and as it is, and that's because it's not actually the FairyLoot box. This is a pre-order of some special editions, and this is going to be Caraval, I believe. Their bookmark. Thank you for ordering from FairyLoot. This is going to take a little bit to get out, but yeah, you can see there is the Caraval. So yeah, here they are in all their glory and their order. They are absolutely stunning. I really love these colours. I love the colour combination. And of course, they did include Spectacular as well, which is the Christmas novella that came out quite recently. Like, I don't know if you can tell, like, there is like foiling going on. In this, we've got sprayed edges, so we're just going to look at Caraval, I guess, first, because that's where we're starting off at. And yeah, what I love about these is that you've got the characters on the side, which is kind of stunning. Ooh, that's really nice in the back as well. So yeah, this is what the back looks like. Very cool. Again, aesthetically, really works well. Absolutely gorgeous. And then I want to show you what the sprayed edges look like together, because they're supposed to be displayed together. So yeah, this is the entire set together. Absolutely gorgeous. I love that this is each of the two love interests and the heroines, and then we've got the two heroines, and then I guess we've got everybody for the final one. But yeah, it's really, really gorgeous. This one does kind of like stick out a little bit as not really being as in keeping with the others, but I still think it's really nice. So yeah, let's have a look at the insides of them. Okay, so these are the reverse dust jackets. I'm not going to go over these too much, just because, as you can see, they are just the basic dust jackets with maybe some slight variation. Like, there's no foiling, it is just printed. There's some, like, I think that's from the other side, actually, that you can see coming through it. Spectacular, I feel like, is different. But the others look pretty much the same in terms of the design, maybe just different in terms of the colours. But the exciting thing is what the actual books look like, because are they not the most beautiful things ever? Like, this is truly given the carnival vibes, and I really love it. They're all really stunning. I wish Spectacular had a little bit of a darker colour though, not gonna lie. Like, just a shade darker, because I know it's supposed to be a white colour, but like, you see how this really doesn't stand out that much compared to the others. That's probably my only critique, I would say. But yeah, they are absolutely gorgeous, and they have pictures as well on the back, which, I don't know, this doesn't make a picture. I thought that maybe it would make a picture, but it doesn't. But it is stunning. Truly gorgeous. So now all we have to do is have a look at the inside, because I know we've got end papers for this. Okay, so we'll start with Caraval. I briefly checked, and the end paper pictures are different from these pictures as well. So we've got a completely new artwork all throughout, which is really nice. So this is the first one, which is gorgeous. This is a scene from the book. Caraval is the only one I've actually read, to be honest, but I loved it, and I very much do want to finish the series as soon as possible. As you can see, this is the Iron editions, because they have redone this. They're not signed, I don't think, but that really doesn't bother me all that much. And then at the back, he looks so Beauty and the Beast here, not gonna lie. Love this though, it's so pretty. And then yeah, that is the other scene with the two dancing. So that is Caraval. Moving on to Legendary. So obviously I don't know the context of these scenes, unfortunately, but they're still really stunning. So the two of them are in this carriage together, basically. I like the expression on her face. She's so unimpressed. There's nice foiling going on with this as well. I don't know if you can just about tell where the light catches it, but that's really nice. And then at the back, okay, we have the two, well, and this is a different person. This is a different person. This is actually not her romantic person, I don't believe. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, very cool. I'm loving the swirls going through all of this. I think it's a really pretty motif for the magic. So, on to the finale. We have all of them. Okay, I guess that was a different guy then, because these two are showing as different people. I wasn't entirely sure there. So, on a chessboard. Very cool. Ooh, look how shiny her dress is. Oh, and I guess that is a spoiler for who ends up with who at the end, I guess. And then on to Spectacular, which I guess this would also spoil it, to be honest, who ends up with who. Oh, that's cute. They're off on like a little winter trip together. That is actually adorable, because I know this is the Christmas novella, so that kind of checks out. Oh, that's adorable. So yeah, that is the whole books. I am really happy with these. I'm really happy I was able to get them, because this is just my favorite like special edition I've seen of this series. I think they're stunning. And yeah, I can't wait to actually finish the series, which now I have them physically, I guess I'll be able to do, because I kept trying to get them out from the library and then people kept requesting them. So I never had it for very long to get to it, but I have no excuse now, I guess. Guess who got their first ever box of RainbowCrate? Guess who's also really needing to have a shower, so isn't being on camera again. It's been a bit of a weekend, but figured I'd open this, and I'm very excited it's here. I've been wanting to support this book box for quite a while now, because it specifically does queer books, a lot of fantasy books too. And yeah, I cannot remember what the books are supposed to be for this month, but I'm excited to see what there is, and just see in general what this box has to offer, really. So I like how we've got really secure packaging in this, especially because it's come all the way from America. And we have our January theme, which is marked by the divine. I am going to show the spoilers now, so look away and or just skip forward if you don't wish to see what the spoilers are. And there we go. Right, onto the box itself. These are kind of awkward to get Ow, not gonna lie. See how this is? It's like so tightly packed in here. So let me put the camera down a second. I see what they've done now. They've kind of encased it inside this foam for extra protection. These are also cellophane wrapped, which is great. So really, these books are definitely as secure as they could be, which I don't see in every book box. Okay, so these are the 2 books. You get 2 books each box for RainbowCrate, usually fairly different in theme, though I guess they're supposed to have the same theme. I love the look of this one a lot more, for sure. This one looks kind of boring, to be honest, but I do like that it has this nutritional facts that tells you about the book, how many pages it has, queer, sapphic, bisexual representation, like the themes, the demographics. That's really fun. Point of view error. That I like that a lot. That's very fun. I'm gonna look at my little info sheet quickly as well, just to actually tell you what they say about it. They don't actually give you like the plot on this, but they kind of give you the representation and some other things. So, Cry Voidbringer, that is the original cover. You can see this is definitely better. I don't love it, but I really don't like that one at all. I think that's really boring, to be honest. But yeah, by Elaine Ho. It's got edge papers, hard case edges. The genre is epic fantasy. It is a 1-star in the spice level. Representation, we have women love women, men love men, bisexual male main character, lesbian main character, bisexual love interest, pansexual love interest, non-binary side character, gay side character, queer normative world. And I also do like that it has trigger warnings on it. So let's have a look at that book first, because I definitely read what these were before I ordered them. Are we even going to get a blurb is the thing, because that's usually where the blurb sits. So there might not even be a summary. I might have to just go find this for you guys. It's signed. That looks like it's real, I think, not a digital signing. And okay, yeah, it's the same as what I had in the front. Representation, content warnings, a nice little map, and then into the book, I assume. Oh, we've got a Spotify playlist. Oh wait, original music created for the book. That's quite fun. I do like that. The end papers are quite nice. I like this dark blue flower kind of thing going on. That is nice. I do like it. Oh, well, the synopsis is in the back, which I feel like books don't do anymore. So this nicely does have it. Okay, let's read what it's about then, I guess. Don't mind the mess on my bed. I'm like in the middle of packing, so everything's just kind of thrown there. So, in a broken system, do you save yourself or fight for the people you love? With the god's power waning, the Queen of Ashby has had to find another way to bolster her fight against her imperialist oppressors. The solution, wrenching children of other cultures from their homes and conscripting them into service. So this sounds sort of Norse so far. Hammer was one of those children. Now she's a jaded soldier waging Ashby's perpetual war, thinking only of her own survival. But when she accidentally rescues Viridian, a child with rare and potentially devastating powers, her priorities shift. The girl appears to be the answer to the Queen prayers, the perfect weapon to restore her kingdom's ancient borders, even if the colonized cities they reconquer don't want her version of liberation. Can Hammer protect Viridian from the system that broke her before the girl's power is unleashed on the world? That does actually sound quite interesting. Let's have a look under the dust jacket. It's pretty plain, but to be honest, although we do have a quote on the back, which I like. So, not the best of special editions, but I am interested in this, and it's definitely better than how it looks originally, I think. So let's go on to the other book, which I think is probably going to be more for me. The Prince's Poisoned Vow by Hayley Turner. So again, looking at the spoilers, I hate the original cover. So this is definitely an improvement. This is just typical guy fantasy, which I'm guessing is not what this book is. So yeah, spice level, 3 out of 5. It's another epic fantasy. We've got bisexual main character, gay main character, sapphic main character, asexual main character, gay side character, sapphic side character, queer normative world, and then a bunch of trigger warnings again as well. So let's have a look at this. I love how they've done this edge. It's like, you can't tell, but this is so satisfying to touch. We also have the blurb on the back again, but let's look at the side, the edge papers. Ooh, it's like steampunk. That wasn't the vibe I got from this. But apparently, it's kind of steampunk. You've got like a gun and a clockwork heart and crowns and stuff. Let's have a look inside before we go read the back of the blurb. Oh yes, we've got edge papers with like actual artwork this time. Very nice. Again, we have basically the details that were on that book there. It is signed. That definitely looks handwritten. Some more details, a map, and then into the book. Let's have a look if we've got a different one on the back. No, that is the same. Oh, we've got artwork on the actual underneath though. Oh, that's very nice again on the edge. So I'm guessing these are the two main characters because they are the ones who is on the edge paper here. And is these two, I assume. I guess these are all just side characters that are involved. I like the sound of it though. Okay, let's have a read about what this actually is about. The warden, the prince, the cog, the princess. Every country is built in revolution. The warden, Soren, is a nameless, stateless man tasked with keeping watch over Maricol's borders. He isn't meant for politics, only dealing with the dead. His past was buried in the poison field, but after a fateful encounter with a prince, Soren comes to realize he can't keep what magic burns inside him hidden forever. The prince, Vanya Saliandal, was the spare who survived the house's murderous games to become the imperial crown prince of Solaria. He has a duty to his country, but he'll owe his life to the wardens. Payment of any kind is costly, especially when he's at risk of losing his heart to the man who saved his life. So then, I guess, that's those two, obviously. The prince, the warden. So let's find out who these characters are. Because next we have the cog, Karis Demlan. Here's the siren song of clarion crystals, better than anyone in Ashian. That skill for inventing has enriched her bloodline, but it's who she can become that will ultimately entangle her with the Clockwork Brigade. Okay, so I'm guessing maybe this person. She kind of gives me the steampunk vibes. And then we've got the princess, who I'm just gonna guess is this girl here. Emeril Rourke should have been raised to be a queen of one country, instead she's a prisoner of another, guided by a star god. Ooh, Emeril bides her time in a gilded cage, spinning a political web to gain a throne and start a war the world isn't ready for. That does sound really fun. I'm pretty hyped to read this one. Both do sound really good. I just much prefer the design of this one, but I think this one definitely could be really interesting. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with RainbowCrate. I think they take good care of their books. I think definitely a bit more effort has been put into one than the other, but I think they're possibly both still going to be good books. So I'm pretty happy with this. Hello, so I'm here to do some Illumicrate unboxings. So I've actually already opened what was, I believe, my February Illumicrate box because it arrived the day before my birthday and I wanted to open it on my birthday. I didn't manage to get someone to film me opening it, so I'm just going to show you what there is. So I have that to show you, and I also have my first StarBright box. I decided to start getting StarBright because I regretted basically every single one of the sci-fi books not getting from what they've done so far. So I'm apparently just in it now for the sci-fi books. So I'm getting Evernight, StarBright, and Illumicrate. So yeah, that's going well. But I'll show you February Illumicrate first. It was actually a really solid box. I think there was only one item that I wasn't super crazy on, and that is only because I've not actually read the book that they're inspired by. To start, this is the spoiler card for February. It is A Crew of My Own, so it's all kind of piratey seafaring kind of stuff, which I really like. Here is the spoiler card if you wish to see, fast forward on if you don't wish to see. There we go. And then the theme for March is Where My Demons Hide, which is obviously the book. And then we also have a free item box featuring 3 large useful items, including our fandom neutral book pot, which I will be selling on because I don't like the book pots, and an item inspired by Ninth House. I'm not a massive fan of Ninth House, but the aesthetic of that series is really nice. So I'm not too mad about that. So on to the actual items. I'm going to start with the item I was less fussed about, shall we? So this is a bookmark set. I like that they've been doing these recently. Ignore that it got a bit of a tear in it. I am happy with this. It's just I haven't read the books yet. So this is actually inspired by the Illuminate files by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, which is on my TBR. So much like the Gideon the Ninth ones, the Mortal Instrument ones that we've had, these are all by the same artist as well. So these are character bookmarks of the characters in the Illuminate files. They're nice. I do like this kind of pinky, spacey, sunsetty background, but obviously for me it means nothing right now because I haven't actually read this series yet, but it is one I'm looking forward to reading. So yeah, these are pretty cool. Hopefully when I get to reading the books I will appreciate these bookmarks a little bit more. They are double-sided as well, by the way, so you've got the character on both sides. The other two items prior to the book though I absolutely adore, because not only are they items that I like and will use, they are items for some books I really enjoy. So first we have Godkiller inspired coasters. I finished the Godkiller series last year, really enjoyed it overall. And yeah, these are super nice. They're like cork on the back with the Illumicrate logo. And then these are actually how they look. That is that way. Really gorgeous. I love that we got the sea god here with a whole bunch of ships and stuff. And then this one is Skediseth with a whole bunch of vinery and other things. And yeah, I think these are absolutely gorgeous. I've already been using them and I'm very happy with these. I just really like the art that they've chosen. The other item is hard for me to show you, however, because it's a blanket. So I have done a quick video to show it, but it's inspired by the adventures of Amina al-Sarafi. Like, I always love when they do a blanket because I like the blankets they do and I like the quality of the blankets that Illumicrate do. But yeah, this is kind of like, I'm not going to be able to show it you, but it's like a big seascape of stuff. There we go. It's a big seascape, which is really pretty. Like, not something I would necessarily know from the get-go that it is Amina al-Sarafi, but it is gorgeous. I do like the colours. I don't like it as much as the Water Moon one, which I still use constantly, but I will definitely be using this because, as you can see, it's a really big blanket. It's really nice and soft. It was shedding a little bit when I got it, but I gave it a wash and it seems fine now. But yeah, so very excited. I always love when they do these kind of items because I can never have too many blankets. And yeah, not my favourite of the blankets design-wise. I'm not really keen on the weird green that's in here, but overall, do quite like it. So, on to the book itself. I was aware of what this book was, and this book for the month is Salt Swept by Catalina Watt. So this is the cover. We've got some nice foiling going on. We've got sprayed edges. I really like the sprayed edges, actually. It's like an octopus, which carries on to the bottom. And then you can actually see the octopus in the back. I don't love the front cover, I will say, but I like when you realise it's one big picture with this octopus going after the ship. But yeah, I'm not entirely crazy on the front design. I think I would say I would prefer the original front cover for this one, but from what I remember, no, this is not a reverse dust jacket. Yeah, I actually already have. This is, in fact, you can actually see this is the original cover, because I have a bookmark that I actually got signed by the author at Yalc. Her book wasn't out yet, but she was kind of signing her bookmarks. So yeah, this is the original cover. I do prefer the original cover, I would say. I like the whirlpool with the ship at the center and the branches and stuff going around it. So I don't like this cover as much, but I do like the rest of the customization. I think the sprayed edges are gorgeous. I really like how the back has the octopus. The end papers are really nice as well. We don't have a reverse dust jacket, by the way. So yeah, these are the end papers. Gorgeous colours going on in this one. And then we have different end papers on the back, which is a quieter setting, shall we say, at a fancy dinner with, I assume, some of the characters. So under the dust jacket, it is really pretty as well. We have this tree with all this gold foiling detail, which then carries over to the back where we have a shore, a bird, and like some like ruiny stuff going on. So yeah, it's pretty. It's not my favourite of the designs, I don't think. It's probably not one that I would have been drawn to pick the book up from seeing it, but it is a book I'm interested in anyway, so I don't mind overly. So let me tell you what it's actually about, because this one does sound very interesting. It is going to be the first book in an epic fantasy duology inspired by Southeast Asian mythology. So this is very much more epic fantasy, I think, which I do prefer over romantasy, because I think we get a lot of romantasy in these book boxes. A ragtag crew, a perilous quest. First they need a boat, next they need to learn how to sail it. A pirate faces the gallows drop, a farmer is given a terrible ultimatum to save her daughter, an acolyte ascends to priestesshood, only to find that a blessing really can be a curse. These unlikely bedfellows band together with an inscrutable pickpocket and a talking otter cat in pursuit of the most hopeless of causes to sail into the maelstrom, a raging whirlpool from which no one has ever escaped to find the mysterious treasure hidden within. Okay, the whirlpool on the original cover makes a lot of sense now. The quest will test their fragile allegiance to its limits, but there is more at stake here than getting rich. The magic of the world is in peril, and the barrier between life and death has never been so thin. And in the bastion, the seat of power in Paranish, the queen has an unquenchable thirst that threatens the world and everyone in it. Can there be honour amongst Thebes? Without it, they might never see another sunrise. So, yeah, it does sound really interesting. I'm very down for this. Like, I love a good kind of, not a heist mission, but like a crew getting together to do something. It's very D&D to me. So, yeah, very happy with this. Very happy with the box overall. I think it was a really solid one. So, here is the... I guess this is March, technically. It's very early March when it arrived, but this is the Illumicrate StarBright. This is the very first of the StarBrights I've ever got, which is Illumicrate's sci-fi books. So, I actually can't remember what it's supposed to be. I went in somewhat blind for this one. Oh, okay, the name is familiar to me. Let me open it. So, the book is one that I was sort of peripherally aware of, but not actually one that I had majorly on my radar. I think I have tried this author before, maybe. I'm good to give them another go. So this is Jitterbug by Gareth L. Powell. Obviously, we're much more hard sci-fi now. We've had a lot of various different sci-fis in the past for Everbright, but yeah, this one is much more hard sci-fi. It's also on the shorter side, which, to be honest, I'm not mad about, because if I want to retry this author, a shorter one I'm kind of happy about. So this is what the original cover looks like. I do prefer this one. I think the original cover is kind of boring, to be honest. I'm not keen on the red, and it doesn't really draw me to read it, but this one does catch my eye. So we have what looks like a bird here. There's the eye with like a solar system and a ship going across it. Feathers. We've got sprayed edges on the top and bottom. And then we've got feathers coming down the side inside like a starry solar system. So yeah, it's a nice design. And then on the back, we have what looks... I don't really know what that is. Like, that looks like the Earth. But like inside a big, like, weird tomato-y split up. Oh my god, it's splitting apart. I just realized it's like segments. I think I thought that was like one big thing, but then I realized they're not connected. And this kind of looks like it's parts of a planet, but it's in like orange segments. That's so strange. Very weird. I've got to say. The title is in this kind of like nice blue metallic foiling as well. But yeah, not one I really know anything about, to be honest. But, as I said, it's short, so I'm good to give it a go. And we have end papers here. So yeah, we're definitely in the more hard sci-fi kind of thing here. This has an author letter and is signed. Well, we get into the actual book itself. And then the other end papers we have. Okay, so we're seeing, like, the crew, basically, here. So this is more of a cast photo, I guess. Again, giving very sci-fi. We've got quite a diverse group of people here. And yeah, let's look under the dust jacket, which actually looks very cool. It's white and it's got a whole bunch of like computer text and stuff going on in it. I really like this kind of like purpley, violet-y blue sort of thing. I'm not going to read everything it says, but it looks like it's all basically stuff to do with the universe and the story. In fact, it kind of looks like a news forum, because we've got stuff like Crew Needed, I Gave Birth to an Alien Love Child, Lost Cat, Answers to the Name of Pushkin, Believed Somewhere in Inner Solar System, Bounty, Alien Life, First Speaker Lanzo, News Report. So yeah, this actually does look quite fun. I'm kind of intrigued to see what it's about. So let us have a look. Also, I called it Everbright, sorry, it's StarBright, is actually what this book is known as. On Earth, they depicted justice as blindfolded and impartial, but out here on the frontier, she was red in tooth and claw. Jupiter and Saturn are gone, and a mysterious force has built a huge habitable sphere from their ashes. When criminals try to lose themselves on this new frontier, bounty hunters like Copernicus Brown and the crew of his sentient ship Jitterbug get paid to hunt them down. Oh, this is kind of like Firefly then. It's bounty hunters. Interesting. But when Brown rescues Amber Roth, sole survivor of a pirate attack, the Jitterbug and her crew find themselves the target of powerful political factions who want control of the data chip hidden in Roth's stomach. And all the while, something vast and ancient creeps towards them from the depths of space. That does actually sound quite interesting. So yeah, that is the StarBright book for March. I am intrigued by it. I will definitely give this a try.